my darlings. I hope you're doing very, very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you are cozy, and you have your snacks and your beverages at the ready. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Reddit subreddit page, Age Tattoos. I think I've done this before, at least once or twice. I'm not sure how many times, but I've definitely done this before. And I find it incredibly fascinating to see how different types of tattoos have aged and how long it's taken them to get to that age stage. So some people will post on this subreddit tattoos that are only like 1 or 2 years old. Then we have some that are like 5 and 6 years old. And then there is sometimes, if we're lucky, we get to see tattoos that are aged, you know, over 10 years, which is incredibly helpful for us that, you know, are still continuing our tattoo journey, still getting tattooed. So we can look at what we're getting ourselves in for, because I feel like this type of content really isn't out there that much, you know, like we see the failed age tattoos, and there's sometimes some in this subreddit as well, but the age tattoo content that I normally see is like on TikTok, and it's someone with like a really badly done hand tattoo and it's aged incredibly badly. Anyway, I just feel like this type of content is incredibly educational and helpful for us all to see. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is a tattoo that is 20 years old. 20 years old. I'm just trying to think, how old is my oldest one? I think, wait, no, fuck off. Hang on. No, that's not right. Hang on. 20, 2, 12. We're looking at like 17 years. My oldest tattoo is nearly 17 years. 17, like 17-ish years. 17. I honestly, mentally, don't feel like I'm old enough, okay, to have tattoos that are 17 years old. Look at me, I'm a spring chicken. What do you mean? Anyway, let's take a look at this 20-year-old tattoo. It says this panel from the graphic novel Blankets is now officially 20 years old. I don't have like a before photo, so that doesn't really help too much. But I want to say this was probably some kind of just like black and grey. I don't want to say realism as such, maybe not even traditional. I don't know. It's just like an illustration, I would say. It's hard to tell what type of style this was, but you can still kind of see a lot of detail throughout this tattoo. You can still see there is 2 portraits here. You got a leg there, another leg. No, there's a leg kicking up there, then a leg down, this leg here, and I think this person's nude. And then there's a lot of hair and stuff, but the rest of the detail is kind of hard to figure out what's going on here. I feel like if you know what this panel is from the graphic novel, you may be able to see a lot more detail throughout this tattoo, but from someone that doesn't know what this is, it's hard to make out some of it, but I feel like the important bits we can still make out, which is really, really good. And for 20 years, that's pretty good. 4-year-old floral tattoo. My first tattoo. This is an incredible first tattoo. Like, I always find it absolutely fascinating when someone's first tattoo is freaking incredible, because well, the people in my life, or people I've known throughout my life, their first tattoos have always been an absolute disaster, like just absolutely terrible. And it might be an age thing maybe, because I'm a kid of the 90s, you know, growing up, tattoo education wasn't really a thing. And yes, we had social media, but we didn't have Instagram. Like when I was 18, that's 2008, Instagram wasn't a thing. So you couldn't really like shop for tattoo artists, right? I mean, you could, there was other ways, but it's not as accessible as it is today, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, this is a gorgeous tattoo. So I'm very interested to see how this is healed, because there isn't much black throughout this tattoo. Barely any lines throughout this tattoo to kind of hold the tattoo all together. But as the tattoo is pretty big, I would say it's probably held up pretty well. Size does matter when it comes to tattoos like this. Oh. Oh, I mean, to be honest, it's still very, very legible. We can still see what it is. It's just missing quite a bit of that like contrast and depth throughout it. It's still got some of it, obviously, like here, but some of it is kind of struggling a little bit. But that being said, it still looks really, really good in my opinion. I feel like that's pretty decent. And the thing is, with tattoos like this, you can kind of get a 2-for-1. So as this tattoo gets older and older and older, I'm talking like in 10 years time, 15 years time, it's obviously going to break down a lot more. It will be so easy to fix. You could literally get a traditional tattoo artist to come in and just do a rework, and then you got a traditional flower tattoo. Like, you get 2 for 1 in the same place. It's freaking genius. 2022 versus 2025, featuring B from 2019. That bee looks incredible. Like, that bee is held up a lot longer than this black work tattoo, which you wouldn't think, right? Because this bee is quite realistic, and normally realism tattoos do struggle as they get older. But it seems the black work has struggled a lot more than the actual bee, which is fascinating to me. The only thing that seems to have happened here is the tattoo has just faded a bit, but tattoos when they're freshly done, this is definitely freshly done because it's got the second skin on it, tattoos when they're freshly done always look a little bit darker, obviously, and then they do like lighten up over time. And it seems to be kind of consistent with this person's other tattoos. Like, they look more grey than black to me personally. I mean, maybe it's because I get traditional, but all of the black in my tattoos looks black. They don't look like this sort of grey tone kind of thing. But for me personally, I wouldn't be pissed at the way this is healed at all. I actually quite like it. It's very soft, and it goes with the style of the tattoo and the other tattoos around this tattoo. Oh, this is incredible. 50-plus-year-old Mickey seen on the bus. And the thing is, we can still tell it's Mickey Mouse. Like, that is incredible. The saying bold will hold is very, very true, because this for sure would have been a traditional tattoo without a doubt. And yes, it has definitely aged quite a bit in those 50 years, to be expected. You can still tell what it is. Watercolor tattoo, 12 years apart. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the majority of the color definitely has faded. It's noticeable still, but it's not like super saturated like it was, 12 years ago. It always does blow my mind that watercolor tattoos do fade significantly quicker than any other style of tattoo. And now this person has gone from like watercolor to like chalk marks. It kind of looks like chalk, doesn't it? I kind of like it. My fine line tattoo is about to turn 5. I treated this tattoo like shit. Oh, okay. I mean, at least you're freaking honest. Like, I respect it, but yikes. Anyway, I treated this tattoo like shit when it was healing because I didn't realize how important it was. Thank God my tattoo artist was good at what he did, because I think it's aged pretty good so far. I mean, honestly, looking at this doesn't look like a tattoo that has been treated badly. Like, it looks very consistent. It doesn't look patchy by any means. There's a little bit here and there. Like, here it's a little bit patchy, and then there's a little bit of a patchy moment going on here. But that's just, like, to be expected. It's not anything drastic. It doesn't look like a badly taken care of tattoo, which, thank God, like, going through all that pain, spending all that money. You don't want your healed tattoos to look like crap, right? But yeah, it does look pretty good. It looks like a good quality tattoo as well. Like, the artist was good. So what did it look like? Okay, there's a few changes. Like, the leaves, like the line work here for these leaves is definitely a little bit thicker. When it's freshly done, it's a lot more defined. Now, not so much. But again, that's to be expected. That happens with all line work. And it's still a very readable tattoo. 4-year-old trad heart on forearm. Oh, this is freaking gorgeous. This is a bit of me. It's not like super bold with the line work. The tattoo artist has definitely played it safe with the line work. Some traditional tattoo artists don't do super thick line work because, as we know, as tattoos age, the line work just gets thicker by itself. So they kind of keep it a little bit reserved, do it a little bit thinner. So it's not like super bold to start off with, but as it ages, it will start to get that like traditional feel to it more. I have a feeling that this has aged beautifully because the negative space throughout the flowers is pretty good. I mean, they're still kind of small, but there's enough space in there for everything to breathe and grow. The script is very, very legible, and even as it ages and grows and expands, it will still be readable because there's enough space between all of it, and the color saturation throughout this is freaking gorgeous. Like, look at that red, it's so smooth. So let's see how this is aged within 4 years. Gorgeous. That looks really, really good. And the line work has definitely got a little bit thicker. Yeah, quite a bit, just a little bit. Now it just looks even more traditional, like it's slowly growing into that traditional vibe. I mean, it was traditional to start off with, but you know what I'm saying? It's just looking a little bit more traditional because the artist has kind of planned ahead and thought, let's not use like a big needle for this line work. Let's go small-ish, But then obviously as it ages, it expands. Like, honestly, great eyes. Green flags all round. 5 years old, flower fine line tattoo. Okay, so I'm guessing this is when it's new just because of how dark it is. So yeah, we just have a very, very simple line work tattoo of flowers and some leaves. Very cute, very dainty. I have a feeling the line work is definitely a lot thicker and it doesn't look so fine line anymore. Oh no. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That's quite significant. And this is what I'm saying. Like, honestly, within like another, I want to say in another like 10 years time, the definition of these flowers, gone. Literally gone. If there's any negative space between those lines, this person will be incredibly lucky, honestly. But the rest of it looks completely fine, I would say. Yeah, I mean, wow. Okay. What? Wow, the negative space in this one is completely, like, these two, it's going. That's in 5 years. Oh, God. There is nothing wrong with fine line tattoos. They're not something I would get personally, but I feel like if you're going to get a fine line tattoo, you have to go bigger, okay? Go bigger and make sure any negative space throughout the tattoo is a lot bigger. Because, yeah, you will lose a lot of the, like, negative space as the tattoo ages. 7-year-old fine line mermaid. We'll have to freshen it up a bit, I guess. Oh no. I feel like that's probably gonna be the case because there is so much detail in here. Like, that's all going to have blurred out for sure. And especially with the hair as well, that's probably just a big black mass now. Well, not so much a mass, but all of this detail in here, and like all the tiny little negative spaces in here to give it that like hair-like texture, gone. Like, yeah, I predict a big black mass for the hair. Not much detail going on in here, especially for the fin as well. Like, this is all going to be just like solid black or something. I don't know. Oh, what? Where did the ink go? Some of my predictions were correct because, like, the detail has gone. Like, in all of it, basically. But I wasn't expecting, like, the saturation to go to in 7 years. What? That literally looks like a 50-year-old tattoo right there. Fuck it. 60 years old. What are you doing? Who did this? Just 7 years. 7 years ago was 2018. Do you remember 2018? Like, it feels like yesterday, right? Like, how has it done that much in that short amount of time? Like, what? So we have some script here that is a 12 years difference. We have the fresh here because there's obviously the irritation there. And then we have the healed here as well. Honestly, this hasn't healed all that badly. Like, it's still legible. Everything leaves a mark. Like, I can still read it if I read the bottom one. It's just expanded quite a bit. I have some script in my inner arm. Can I roll this up? Yes, I can. Well, just about. We'll roll it up. So this script in my inner arm here that says, in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. I got this in 2009. I luckily have a picture of what it looked like when it was done fresh. So if we can like compare the two, can you see how much it's changed? Yeah, like script does change, but luckily it is still very, very legible. But yeah, with script tattoos, it's better to go bigger, obviously, and have a font that is legible to start off with. I feel like this is a legible font. I think this is about as cursive as you should go for a tattoo. Anything more cursive than this that's hard to read anyway is a recipe for disaster, honestly. Almost 10-year-old zombie tattoo by Charles Herman. The character is based off a zombie, Daisy Dismay, from Time Splitters Future. Perfect if anyone is familiar with the game, and that is the reference photo I sent to Charles, and he took a really terrible reference picture and brought the idea to life. Still love this piece, would love to get it touched up someday soon. For a 10-year-old realism tattoo, this is still incredible. Like, what? Like, it's still got a lot of depth and dimension throughout it. I'm very excited to see what this looked like fresh, to see like how much of a change it is, because to me this is good. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, jump scare. Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't changed that much. Like, again, the saturation maybe. Yeah, it's just the saturation that's struggling, and a bit of the black has definitely faded quite a bit. Yeah, I just feel like this is a good quality tattoo, and it's done pretty well. Okay, this is probably one of the best watercolor tattoos I've seen when it comes to healing and aging. It says, aged 9 years. I never get to look at it because it's behind my arm, but I think it's aged super well. Left is January 2016 and right is January 2025. This is my only watercolor tattoo. All my other ones are more traditional. All aged well though, because I'm basically a vampire and I never go outside. Bestie. Same. I feel like this is honestly healed very, very nicely. I want to put it down to the color palette mostly, because you do have like these rich purples and pinks and blues. Like they're not super wishy-washy. There's a lot of saturation in the tattoo to begin with, which obviously helps a ton. The thing is, even with this incredibly pale yellowy green, that's still there. So whoever done this did a great job on this, honestly. I think the only thing that's changed is the line work is a little bit thicker, especially throughout the flowers. Like again, these flowers look kind of crisp and fresh and new, and this one just looks a little bit more lived in. I love to see this because it gives us all hope, you know, for watercolor tattoos. Like a good watercolor tattoo can be done. Like watercolor tattoos do get quite a bit of bad rap just because, I mean, we saw one earlier, the colors didn't last that long, you know, they faded pretty significantly, but this one, it's rescuing the watercolor reputation. Ooh, 8 and 5 year text on palms. Different artists, don't recall who, in South Florida did them. The Sailor V is 8 years old, and okay, I don't know what this one is. Joy DeVive. I'm so sorry. Joy DeVive. I'm so sorry. Oh god. I mean, I can't even say English words. Other language words, just no hope. Apart from Sailor V, just because of the song. The Joy one is 5 years old. I am left-handed. Okay, so as we probably all know, palm tattoos are pretty tricky to do. It does take a special type of artist to be able to nail a palm tattoo. So if this person went to a tattoo artist that hasn't done palm tattoos before or hasn't done many of them, you're gonna run into some problems, but it's still kind of readable. It's not like super consistent by any means, you know, it's definitely patchy in places. Like some of it is a lot more saturated than others, but you can still see some of it, so that's something. Ooh! That one has lasted a lot better, and they are different artists. So one artist didn't really know what they were doing maybe, and then the other artist knew what they were doing. Dogfight? What was that? Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. This one's a risky one. 2.5 year lace garter tattoo, and there is a lot of detail. A lot of detail in quite a small space right there. Like there is not much negative space between lines in a lot of this, you know, especially down here. Oh god. I mean, these areas here should be okay, and the flowers should be okay. For 2.5 years, they should be okay. Anyway, let's see what it looks like now. Honestly, that's done better than I thought it would have done. Like, there's still quite a bit of negative space throughout the lines here. Like, I thought this would be harder to read. But, no, there's still pretty gappy in there. That's kind of impressive. I mean, it is only 2.5 years old. So it'd be interesting to see what this looks like, you know, in 10 years time. 2.5-year-old palm tattoo. Got this guy in June 2022. It's my favorite and makes me smile. Everything I look at it. I think that's every day I look at it. Minimal touch-ups, a tiny line on my middle finger, and the black going over in the eyes. A few months afterwards, I went to palm specialist Luke Ashley at Aurora 94, Greenwich, UK. That's who did my palm tattoo, and I also got mine in June of 2022. Can you believe in June this is gonna be 3 years old? 3 years! And I've been putting off getting the other one done for that long. Because it sucks. Okay, like getting your palms tattooed sucks. Like I've really got to like mentally prepare myself, you know. But yeah, Luke Ashley is literally like the palm god. He's so freaking good, and his reputation of being a good palm tattoo specialist, it's correct. It's true. Because again, hello, no touch-ups of mine. None as of yet. The only bit that does need a touch up is like the teeth area, but it's been like that since it has like done the first initial heal after like 4 weeks. Nothing has changed about this tattoo at all. Yeah, let's see what this person's healed Luke Ashley tattoo looks like. Yeah. To be expected. That, yeah, that looks about right to me. I think the only place this person would need a touch up is just here a little bit, like there's a teeny little bit missing. Nothing too drastic. Other than that, everything else is just, oh, so good. Trad portrait done October 2019, done by Chris Lombardi at Hand of Doom Tattoo in Buffalo, New York. I use the dry healing method with just unscented lotion. Now I mostly stay out of the sun and try to moisturize when I remember. Is this the, I'm guessing, is this the healed one or is this the fresh? Oh, I don't know. Hang on a sec. That is the healed. I think this is why I love traditional, because you could tell for a second. I was like, is this new or old? Okay, so yeah, there is some differences for sure. Like, but why do I like the healed version more? What? I just love how this tattoo looks so incredibly good, but lived in at the same time. I think that's why I'm so drawn to it, because it looks lived in, but in a good way. Look, children, it's one of you. It's one of you, children. You're on the screen. Yes, it's a relative. I haven't lost the plot, I promise. This is so freaking cute. Oh god, I love this. So this says sticker style, fresh, and 2-ish years later. This is it fresh. Wait, what? Wait. Which one's? This one's the healed one, right? Is this? Hang on. I've got a feet. So this is the fresh one. I mean this in like a nice way, but this looks healed. I don't know if it might be the glare, but this kind of looks healed. It doesn't look like a fresh tattoo. Oh, I see the redness now. I see the redness, like the usual irritation. This doesn't look, like, respectfully, this doesn't look like a new tattoo to me, you know? Like, I don't know, it just, it's like the saturation is off or something. It just looks aged already, but not in a bad way. It just doesn't look new, you know? But it's freaking adorable. Big fan, as you can probably tell. I love an axolotl. But this looks good. This looks like a good healed tattoo. In fact, even the saturation looks better here. What is going on with this? It might be a lighting camera issue or something. 10 years apart, almost to the day. Ooh, this is a very, very nice tattoo. This is a bit of me. Like, this is a variation of styles. Like, we've got like an almost, I want to say neo-traditional. Yeah, I'm going to go with like a neo-traditional verging on realism. Heart tattoo going on here with some script. I break my heart around this. And then some flowers up here. And the flowers look a little bit more basic than the rest of this tattoo. Like, this area here is so detailed. And then this, not so much, but it looks good. It's not a bad thing. It's just a very interesting technique or style of tattoo we've got going on here. And let's see what it looks like 10 years on. Oh. Oh. Why? How is this orangey pink salmon colour gone yellow? What? How has that happened? I'm guessing like the undertones of this ink were, you know, yellow based. But that's wild. And then even the green has like faded quite a bit. What happened here? The quality of this tattoo took a massive nosedive. Are they even the same tattoos? Fresh versus 5 years healed and a 120-pound weight loss between the photos. Now, do you notice that the only thing that has changed throughout this tattoo is the line work and the loss of detail throughout the face, but everything else is completely fine. Like, it doesn't look distorted or skewed or anything like that, because I do get asked every now and then, like, you know, what happens to tattoos when you gain weight or when you lose weight? Honestly, for the most part, not much changes. Like, they still somehow end up looking the exact same. But I've been getting tattooed for 17 years. And within those 17 years, you know, I have gained weight, I have lost weight, I have then gained a lot more weight, and then I have lost weight. And I feel like that is the case for the majority of us, right? Especially as we get older, like, we gain, lose weight. You know, we go through things that make us lose weight. or gain weight, you know, like health reasons or emotional reasons. Yeah, I really like how this tattoo has pretty much stayed the same. It's just the line work has done what line work does, and we've just lost some detail, especially in the eyes and what have you, like, damn, okay. And the cat's face isn't as, you know, crisp and defined anymore, and these flowers are also, you know, struggling a little bit, but I want to say that's just down to, you know, line work doing what it does. The colors throughout the tattoo are still pretty much the same. Even the dot work has actually survived pretty well, and I love this like tartan checked moment right here. Oh my god, I just realized it kind of matches my nails. A close up of my nails, but I've got like a tartan vibe going on there, like a check vibe kind of thing played, whatever you want to call it. So that's cute. Fresh and 2.5 years healed rose, done on a walk-in day, and I still love it so much. Honey, we could have at least cleaned the tattoo, right? Like, I mean, luckily we can figure out what's going on here. It looks like a purple rose. I'm obviously gonna love it, right? I mean, there could be freaking taco sauce all around in this. As long as it's a rose still, I don't care. I'm gonna love it. I've just never seen someone post a photo of their like new tattoo but it still be covered in like plasma and stuff. It might actually be sticky residue from a second skin, which is a freaking pain in the ass. But if you ever have a sticky residue left over from a second skin, like Sanoderm, Dermalize, whatever, use coconut oil to like emulsify it off, and it won't harm your tattoos by any means, because a lot of tattoo aftercare stuff has coconut oil in it. Obviously, don't use it if you're allergic to coconut oil. That would be silly. But yeah, anyway, back to this. It looks like a very good quality traditional tattoo. Again, it's a rose. I'm gonna love it. I really like the pop of yellow here, like the contrast of like the deep purple with the bright yellow. Ooh, I love that. Yeah, that looks really, really freaking good. I love that a lot. And that yellow is still so freaking bright. Ooh, that's really, really good. This tattoo is gonna hold up very well as more time goes by, for sure. This is one of the most beautiful back pieces I have ever seen. Look at that. Like, I could literally look at this for hours and hours and just admire every single little bit of detail throughout this. But that's just a whole ass work of art. Right? Like, if you took this off of this person's back and made it into like an art print, work of art, you know, like, this is just incredible. Oh, it does say 2.5 years old, I'm guessing. This is when it was fresh, I'm guessing. This picture does not do this justice by any means. This is a much better picture. Wow, I have major tattoo envy right now. Like, can we just like take that off of that person's back and just put it onto mine, please? Okay. That would be great. Let me see if we can find out who the artist is, because I'm sure there's a few people wanting to know. I want to know myself. Ali Already. She's from Perth, Western Australia. And then underneath someone said, found the artist Ali Already tattoo. Incredible stuff right there, honestly. Anyway, my darlings, I feel like that is a good note to end this video on. I hope this video has been helpful in some way, just so you can see how different types of tattoos age and heal as time goes on. I feel like it is helpful for us to make better choices when picking a tattoo style. But at the end of the day, it may just depend per person, per tattoo artist. You know, we could all get tattooed by the same tattoo artist, and the way tattoos heal on me may be completely different to how tattoos heal on you. This is what makes tattoos so incredibly fascinating to me. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me for a little while. I appreciate you all so, so much. And until my next video, bye!